Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're diving deep into NFTs.
NFTs.
Yeah, what's the future hold for them?
Exactly.
Remember all that hype back in 2021?
Oh, yeah.
It's cooled off a lot,
But
are they really dead? Our sources say.
Interesting.
Maybe not.
Okay.
We're seeing some new ways of thinking about them
Oh, really?
and some interesting real-world uses
Cool.
that go way beyond, just digital art.
Beyond digital art.
So get ready to rethink what you thought you knew about NFTs.
It's fascinating to see how the narrative is shifting. The hype might be over,
Right.
but that underlying tech and its potential, it's still there.
Totally.
It's a lot like the dot-com bubble.
Oh, interesting.
Lots of companies crashed and burned, but the internet,
Yeah.
that's still around.
The internet didn't go anywhere.
Exactly.
That's a great analogy.
Thanks.
So one of our sources compares the 2021 craze to tulip mania.
Tulip mania.
Yeah. That classic example of a speculative bubble.
Oh, yeah.
So are NFTs just another example of a tech hype cycle playing out?
Well, hype cycles definitely happen in tech.
Right.
And we see this pattern, right?
Yeah.
Inflated expectations,
Right.
and then disillusionment, but then eventually a plateau of productivity as the tech matures and finds its use cases.
Interesting.
And it seems like NFTs are following that same path.
Okay.
But what's important now is that we're moving past that hype.
Right.
And we're starting to see real innovation.
Our sources also say that the Web3 community,
That early adopter group.
they're known for, jumping on trends.
Right.
So does this mean NFTs were just a fad for them?
Well, we have to remember that the Web3 community, it's diverse.
Got it.
Some people were in it for the quick profit.
Right.
But there's a core group that really believes in the long-term potential of this tech.
So for NFTs to succeed long-term,
Yeah.
they need to build real value
Exactly.
and utility, not just hype.
Not just hype.
Okay, so our sources also mentioned that some brands
Some big brands.
that were into NFTs have pulled back a bit. What do you think is behind that shift?
Well, I think there are probably a few things happening there.
Okay.
The economy.
Yeah.
Things slowed down.
Right.
Businesses had to tighten their belts,
Mm-hmm.
got more cautious about new tech.
Makes sense.
Plus, the tech landscape is always changing.
It's true.
There's always something new.
The next big thing.
Right. And right now, the focus might be on things like AI.
Or the metaverse.
The metaverse.
But doesn't mean NFTs are gone forever.
So the hype has died down. Some brands are shifting focus.
Okay.
So why should anyone still care about NFTs?
Good question.
What makes them relevant now?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay, I'm listening.
Because even though the initial excitement has faded, the true potential of NFTs just beginning to be realized.
Okay.
Our sources say we should think of NFTs as more than just digital art.
More than just art.
Or collectibles.
Okay.
Think of them as the infrastructure.
Infrastructure.
Like the plumbing of the digital world.
Plumbing.
I know it doesn't sound that exciting.
No, not really.
But plumbing isn't flashy.
True.
But it's essential.
Right. It connects everything.
It connects everything. It allows for flow.
Flow and exchange.
Exactly. And that's what NFTs can do in the digital realm.
So they can create connections.
Secure connections.
Between digital assets and real-world things.
Real-world objects, people, even ideas.
Okay. I'm starting to see where you're going with this, but I need some examples.
Examples.
How could NFTs actually change things in the real world?
Let's take real estate.
Real estate.
Imagine you could buy a fraction of a property using NFTs.
Okay.
This would make ownership more accessible.
How so?
Streamline transactions. And create entirely new investment models. So instead of needing a ton of money to buy a whole building, I could own a tiny piece of it.
A tiny piece.
Through an NFT.
Exactly. And because NFTs are built on blockchain, the whole process is transparent.
Transparent.
Secure and easily transferable.
Interesting.
You could buy, sell, or trade your ownership on a decentralized marketplace.
That's pretty amazing.
It is pretty amazing.
It could open up investing to more people.
To people who weren't able to before.
Yeah. Previously, only the super wealthy.
Exactly. And real estate is just one example.
Oh, really?
We could see similar applications in areas like fine art, rare collectibles, intellectual property.
So many possibilities.
Just so many possibilities.
So we're not just talking about buying a JPEG anymore.
Oh, nope.
It sounds like NFTs could actually revolutionize the way we think about ownership and value in the digital world.
You got it. And this shift from digital collectibles to infrastructure.
Yeah.
That's huge. It could be the spark that ignites a whole new wave of innovation and investment.
This is already so much more interesting than I thought it would be.
I told you.
I can't wait to dig deeper into specific examples and see how this NFT as infrastructure idea is playing out in the real world.
Well, you're in luck.
Oh.
Because that's exactly what we're going to do next.
Awesome.
Are you ready to dive in?
I am definitely ready. Let's go.
Absolutely. Let's explore some real-world applications that are already happening. One fascinating example is fractional ownership of real estate.
Okay. All years, how does that work exactly?
Imagine a beautiful beachfront condo in Miami, traditionally owning a piece of, that would require a huge investment out of reach for many.
Right.
But with NFTs, property ownership can be divided into smaller fractions.
Okay.
Each represented by an NFT.
So instead of buying the whole condo,
right,
I could buy an NFT that represents, say, 1% ownership.
Precisely. And that NFT grants you proportional rights to the property.
So what does that mean?
Well, maybe it's a share of the rental income.
Okay.
Voting rights on building decisions. Or even access to the condo for a certain number of days per year.
That's incredible. It makes owning a piece of prime real estate much more accessible.
Right.
But wouldn't managing something like that be a logistical nightmare?
That's where blockchain technology comes in.
Okay.
All the ownership details, rights, and responsibilities.
Yeah.
They're all securely stored and managed on a decentralized platform.
So you're saying no more stacks of paperwork.
Exactly.
No more back and forth with lawyers.
Exactly. Transactions become much faster and more efficient.
So I could buy and sell fractions of real estate with just a click.
Potentially, yes. It's a game changer.
That's amazing. Our source also mentioned streamlined transactions.
Right.
How would that work?
Imagine buying a property without all that paperwork.
Ugh, I hate paperwork.
Multiple intermediaries.
Yeah.
Weeks or even months of waiting.
It's the worst.
With NFTs, all the property info.
Like what kind of info?
Ownership history, titles, liens.
Wow.
It can all be securely stored and verified on the blockchain.
So it's tamper-proof.
It's like having a digital tamper-proof record of everything.
Wow, no more waiting on hold with the bank or chasing down documents?
Nope.
It sounds almost too good to be true.
I know, right?
But is any of this actually happening?
It absolutely is. Several platforms are experimenting with this already.
Wow, so this is really happening.
And while it's still early, the potential is enormous.
So this is a real-world example of how NFTs are going beyond digital art.
It's becoming the plumbing of a new digital ecosystem.
This is blowing my mind. Okay, so we've talked about real estate.
Yeah.
What other areas could see a major impact from this NFT as infrastructure shift?
Oh, the possibilities are endless.
Like what?
Think about supply chains. NFTs could track the origin and movement of goods.
You could verify authenticity?
Exactly. Reduce fraud.
Wow.
Or healthcare NFTs could securely store patient records.
So individuals could have more control over their own data?
More control, safer, more secure.
It sounds like NFTs could touch almost every part of our lives. Are we on the edge of a whole new digital revolution?
It's definitely a possibility.
Wow.
As this technology matures, it could attract a wave of new investors and entrepreneurs
who want to capitalize on the potential.
Exactly.
I'm starting to feel that NFT excitement again.
I know, me too.
But this time it's grounded in something much more substantial.
Exactly. The initial boom was all about speculation and quick profits.
Right.
But now the focus is shifting to long-term value and solving real problems.
This is exciting stuff, but I have to ask.
What's that?
If NFTs become as common as the internet, what impact could that have on us?
That's the big question, isn't it? It's one we'll be thinking about for years to come, but if history tells us anything, it's that technology changes everything.
So buckle up.
Precisely, the future of NFTs is still being written.
And we all have a part to play in shaping it.
We do. The key is to stay curious.
Stay informed.
And be open to the possibilities.
Well said. This deep dive has been a fascinating journey.
It has.
We've gone from digital apes to revolutionizing real estate and healthcare.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
It feels like the possibilities are limitless.
Our source mentioned that NFTs could become as fundamental to blockchain as the ERC-20 standard is to decentralized finance.
Can you explain that for those of us who aren't crypto experts?
Sure. What's the ERC-20 standard and why is it important? Well, the ERC-20 standard, it's basically a set of rules that allows different tokens to interact on the Ethereum blockchain.
Okay.
And that's what made all those DeFi applications possible.
So you're saying NFTs could have a similar impact?
Yeah.
But on a much bigger scale?
Exactly. Not just in finance.
It's like building a foundation for a whole new digital world?
It is.
This is all so exciting.
It is.
But also a little scary.
I know, right?
If NFTs become like the internet, what will that mean for us?
That's the million-dollar question, right? We'll all be figuring that out together.
But history shows us that technology changes everything.
It really does.
So buckle up, I guess. The future of NFTs is still being written.
And we all have a role to play in shaping it.
So stay curious, stay informed.
And be open to the possibilities.
Well said.
Thank you.
This deep dive into NFTs has been amazing.
It has.
We've gone from digital apes to real estate and healthcare.
And we've barely scratched the surface.
It feels like the potential is limitless.
It really does. NFTs are more than just digital art. They have the power to change the digital world and maybe even the real world, too.
It's definitely something to keep an eye on.
For sure. Things are only going to get more interesting from here.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
My pleasure.
Until next time, stay curious.